Hey, good morning all. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a great Friday. Today, another $10 meal. So we got ourselves beef goulash to do today. Very straightforward dish. And also we're going to be doing a whole meal pasta spaghetti to go with it as well. So hope you guys and gals are looking forward to it. Very homey and very delicious as well. A nice little stew, especially for the cold weather. So I thought it would be perfect timing for this. So hope you guys are going to enjoy it. We'll put this recipe on my website tonight later on tonight, sorry. What was I going to say? After I finish stream, goodness me. But it's all good. It's great to see you guys and gals, and I hope everyone is doing well today, and appreciate you popping in. Top and tail, the usual suspects. So just take the skins off. All right, so it's down. Let's slice this down. Beautiful. So cutting it down horizontally and then vertically, and then just cutting it across into a nice little dice, as the usual, what we usually do. So using your middle finger for a little bit of guidance as well. So just get them off there. A little bit of garlic in there. So, teaspoon of dried thyme, but instead I've got some little cheeky fresh thyme, so I'm going to use a teaspoon of that. So I'm going to add about roughly a tablespoon into here of vegetable oil. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, but just to kind of sear off or start slowly cooking down, the onions and the garlic. Right, so it's top and tail. And what we're going to do is just peel these little bad boys down. Do I want this diced? I don't really want it. I want some kind of little textures of carrot going through there, so I'm just going to cut these up. Nothing fancy, just a straightforward little dice. Nothing too thick. There we go. So what we're going to do is just add the onions, the garlic. I'm going to start simmering down, sweating down, very, very nicely. So you only want to cook this down, for about a couple of minutes, just until they're translucent, nice and soft, and they're ready to rock and roll. So there we go. Beautiful. So I'm going to soften them up next. So there we go. So let's put this onto a medium heat. About a tablespoon of oil we're going to pop in there. We're just going to grab the beef out and start coating it. Wait, where's the oil? Oh, it's here. I knew that. So here's our beef. Bit of cheeky chuck. So I'm just going to chuck this into the bowl. So we got like pieces like this. Maybe I should get my chopping board out. I'm going to chop them up so they're all equal sizes, because whoever's chopped this up has either got a wonky eye or he forgot his glasses. So I want about a handful of flour in there, just to give them a nice coating, maybe a little bit more. So what we're going to do is just get our hands in there, just give them a really nice kind of coating. So that pan's super hot. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning as well, just a touch of salt and pepper in here, so those are nicely coated now. We want it nice and hot for the beef, so I'm just kind of shaking the excess flour off. Just going to go straight into the pan. Now, Chef, why are you shaking the excess flour off? Just because we don't get excess flour in the pan, that's all. And then the rest of the flour, I'll probably just chuck it straight into the other pan with the veggies. Now, careful you don't overfill your pan. Well, why not, Chef? Well, the reason for it, if you overfill the pan, instead of them searing off, they're just going to end up stewing. So you've got to make sure you give them space in the pan, so it's got plenty of heat, so they can get that nice char and that beautiful color on that beautiful beef. So super important. Okay, so pour that straight in there. So I'm just going to deglaze the pan because we've still got some flavors in there. So let's grab ourselves a little touch of water. Today's dish isn't like super healthy anyway, so, but you know, you can just deglaze the pan there. And what I will do is probably add a little touch of Marmite now so it can dissolve into it. So just drop it in a teaspoon of Marmite just to kind of dissolve into the liquid as well. Just give that kind of richness to it. I had a little teaspoon of Marmite. Deglaze the pan with water. So after all the beef is taken out, a teaspoon of Marmite, sorry. Just mixed it, and that's it. There's our little cheeky broth ready to go. Deglaze from the beef juices, and all that beautiful stuff in there. So you might think, oh chef, that's not enough liquid. That's fine, because we've got the tomatoes going in, and if we need to add more water, we can do later on. So we need about, say about 2 to 3. I'm gonna go for 3 teaspoons of paprika. No, let's go for 4. There we go. 4 teaspoons of paprika. I also wanted some caraway seeds, which I don't have, but that's fine. We've got some dried oregano in here. So I want about half a teaspoon of that. Or a teaspoon should be fine, actually. Perfect. What else did I want in there? Obviously the tomatoes. And then just maybe a little splash of vinegar and some honey in there as well. So let me grab the can of tomatoes out. Right, so is that the tomatoes? And we're going to add a little touch of water to this, just to kind of like wash the can out, get all those beautiful tomato juices out as well. So, oh, I didn't need that other piece. There you go. So we're sealing this up. Let's turn that off. So this is going to go into the oven, and this is going to cook down for about 2 to 3 hours, just until that beef is like super tender. So we're just going to make sure we seal that up nice and tight, so it kind of braises as well as kind of bakes as well. Apologies. Right, 100 grams of flour. Okay, so 100 grams. I'm sure I'll nail it sooner or later. Yes. 100 grams of white, 100 grams of wholemeal. So it's going to give that a little mix up. And we're going to add 2 eggs to this, pinch of salt, and a little dash of extra virgin olive oil as well. Right. God, these eggs are a bit tough, which actually is a good sign. If you get like really solid shells, that is usually a sign of healthy chickens. Right, so let's mix this up. Just a little touch of water, because if it's a little bit on the dry side, which I feel like it is, I'm just going to add a little touch of water, not much though. Can still use it, but I mean, it's okay using plain flour. It's just a standard, basic kind of pasta, but if you want some good quality, 00 flour would be the best, if you can get hold of it. Right. Giving this a beautiful knead. So that's coming together nicely. So yeah, I just needed a little touch more flour, and it's pretty much good. So it's almost there. Just going to knead it for a little touch longer. But yeah, as I said, best one you could probably use is 00. While I'm waiting, I'm going to grab a pan on. We can bring that to the boil, so we're going to blanch it. And then obviously we're going to kind of drop it back down to heat it back through when we want to serve it. So we're going to blanch it for about a minute or so. So there we go. So there's our beautiful wholemeal pasta ready to go. So let me have a little clean up first. So let me wrap that other one up. Requires a little bit of elbow grease, but not impossible. So I'm just going to roll this out nicely. Oh chef, you've got flour on your monitor already. I feel like we're about there, give or take. It's a little thick on that side, so I'm just going to finish that up here. I didn't do nothing. Right, so what we want to do, cover this with flour. Why so much flour, chef? The reason for it, you'll see why when I do this. It'll all make sense to you very shortly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now the reason why we're using so much flour is because when we come to slice this, right, it won't squeeze down and mush into the rest of the pasta, and it won't stick together because you want it nice and loose, so you can get those beautiful spaghetti out of it. Alrighty, now when I say super sharp knife, it's really important reason for it, because if you haven't got a sharp knife, you're going to press down onto the pasta, and then it's just going to kind of clump together. It's not going to unravel very well, so you kind of want to let the knife be super sharp, obviously, and let it do the work. So when we slice these down, that's what makes us different. I'm just going to flip this over a sec. Sometimes the ends can start like curving off a little bit and they might cut, so that's why I flipped it over, just to change it a bit. So it'll just carry on holding together that nice noodle like so. Oh, so you can see it. There you go. SpaghettiOs. I wouldn't say they're SpaghettiOs, but still. And just very gently just kind of de-strand them, if that makes sense. So they're going in as they drop. Otherwise, if they drop in, like, they'll kind of cook in clumps otherwise. So it's kind of important you just kind of de-stranding them so it doesn't go and kind of clump together when it cooks. So super important. There we go. So that's the first batch going in. So it's going to take about a minute or two. So let me grab, empty this sink. We're going to grab a nice large mixing bowl, and then I'm going to get nice super icy cold water. There you go. Can't go wrong. Homemade pasta. I'm not going to go bonkers on this. There you go. That's plenty. Just a little sprig. Right, let me drop this noodles down, and we're gonna get the let's get the goulash out. So we're making $10 meals today. We're making homemade cheeky goulash. This recipe will be on my website tonight, on chefjohnree.com or exclamation mark website. So if you're interested in trying it out, please feel free to check it out later on tonight. I'll post it on Discord once it's ready. So if you're not on Discord, exclamation mark Discord. I know I'm ready for this, but are you ready for this? Oh my goodness me, look at that bubbling. Look at that. Very nice indeed. Oh my goodness me. It's got a nice sauce consistency as well. This is going to be very nice. Though, I could do with the sauce being a little touch thicker, maybe. No, it should be okay. Should be okay. I don't want to go too crazy with the noodles. Just drop them down. What we're basically doing is just heating them through, pretty much. So, there we go, that's plenty. So, it's going to take about a minute or so. It's almost there. And I'm going to drain them off. Honestly, much loves to you. Right, so there's your wholemeal noodles. Beautiful. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Just a little touch of parsley as well on there, just to kind of finish it off. There it is, that beautiful beef goulash that we made today. Super, super happy with it. So we made the wholemeal pasta noodles. So basically 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of wholemeal, 2 pinches of salt, 2 eggs, extra 20 ml of extra virgin olive oil. Kneaded it, rolled it, sliced it. Good to go. The beef goulash took about 2 to 3 hours. So we seared the beef off, coated it in flour, salt and pepper. We had onions, garlic, a little bit of thyme, sweet paprika, oregano, a little touch of vinegar, a little touch of honey, salt, pepper, canned tomatoes, and also I used Marmite for the umami and richness to it, and obviously we had the carrots as well, which is another different one. It's not obviously very kind of, shall I say, traditional, but I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed with this. Oh my god. Has a beautiful bite in the noodles. Oh my god, the richness in the goulash itself, the spices, the tomatoes. This is absolute treat on its own. The beef is like super tender. It just melts in your mouth. It doesn't really require much chewing at all. Thank you again for today. I'll be back Tuesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and I will see you. Yeah, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Sorry, miles away. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday. Much loves. Bye for now, amigos.